Hello, everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of The Business Meets with Fenty. Today, I am going to be interviewing someone who is very, very knowledgeable in the entertainment industry. And not only is he knowledgeable in the entertainment industry, but he is also a master of almost everything in media. Today, we are speaking to Spike, formerly known as Njabulo Ngubane. He has come up with the best concepts in Pietermaritzburg and surrounding cities. He is one of the people who brought us the biggest artists in Pietermaritzburg. And I talk about big names here, but we will get into that later. For now, let me just introduce him, and yeah, he'll probably just tell us more about himself. So, how are you?
Hello, dear. All
Are
right.
you? I'm okay, but I'm more interested in you. When unjani?
You're right. It's a Sunday. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, it's a Sunday. We're recovering from a weekend. All is good. We're ready to face a
And how
Monday.
was the weekend?
Yeah, nah, a lot was happening. Yesterday was, one of those start of the festive. That's what I call it. Kalamang in August. So I'm good. I'm good. I'm here. I'm fit with water to recover from everything that has happened. But yeah, all is well.
And I just want to thank you for coming to our show, being a guest on our show, our very first guest, that is. And I really appreciate it. And I am honored to actually have you here because you are so knowledgeable and you've been in the industry for a very long time. You are basically a mogul of entertainment industry. So, but before I even go into that, I'd like to know from you, who is Spike?
I said it's the first one.
Yes.
Kalangam.
Yes.
Angibonge mina obongayo so ngivula amasango and we're gonna grow from here.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for believing in me and being here.
Yeah.
So let me just tell us, who is
Hey,
Spike?
yeah, Njabulo Ngubane.
Oh, okay.
Wazalelwe Hawiki. Abaningi abakwazi lokho.
Even I
Okay,
didn't know
I didn't know
that.
that. Wazalelwe Hawiki, ngakhulela eMaritzburg. I'm a dad. I'm a groovist. That's the first. I'm a groovist. But all in all, I'm just a fun-loving person. Phila nabantu, humble as you know me. And akuningi engakuchaza ngami. I'm an open book. That's me.
That's very nice to hear. And I know that you are a dad because you are very public about that and you do so well in that. So I just want to commend you on that
Thank
before
you.
we go further. Before we even go into your current career, I I'm aware that you before this you were doing something totally different from what you're doing now. Can you tell us more about that?
I have a construction background.
Oh, really?
I'm a quantity surveyor by profession, which many people don't know. I wake up and have my 8 to 4, 8 to 5, formerly with KZN Wildlife and many construction companies before that. But in between all that is happening, weekend play and this and that, I still have my profession of being a quantity surveyor project manager for Mashaba property development. So I'm not only about partying.
Yeah, but not only are you about partying, but you also make us party and make us have a good time. And you've been doing this for a very long time. For a very long time, for as long as I can remember, you have been one of
Yeah,
the people who brought the biggest artist in Pietermaritzburg, and yeah, you've managed to keep this brand a very solid one. So I'm very interested to find out how have you kept the consistency going throughout the years.
it's been 20
What?
years, 23, 24 in this game.
Are you
So
serious?
yes,
Yeah.
I'm now partying with people who were not born when I started partying. But beyond partying, it's a business. It's a business, and if you respect business, it will respect you back. We living in times where people are very concerned about safety, but we've been living through the night. We love the night. We like to make people dance for all these years. And we're just thankful that we got people who look after us as much as we look after them in the nightlife. So, in terms of consistency in this game, as I say, you need to respect the game and it will give you the respect back. Respect the city will give you that. I know we're very infamous city. It used to be called city of choice before, but lately people
What
like
is
to make a joke about us. We're not a joke. It's just that we've gone very soft. We're not protecting our city. So if we're not doing that, it's a brand on its own. So myself as a brand in this entertainment industry, I've been very careful of how I do things and who I do things with, to keep that consistency going, to keep the respect. We try by all means to always do something which people will find, growing. It's part of growing. You need to grow events. You need to grow the people. When started partying with you, I don't know how young we were. Here we are, sitting and
Yes.
doing, which is something
Business.
great. It's business.
Yes.
So that's what it is.
Growth.
It's I call it street life. It's education on its own. You just need to
Definitely.
know the right corners, stay out of trouble
Make
as
sure
much
you
as you
grow
can.
up.
And then yeah, everything grows. The consistency, the brand stays clean, and yeah, that's what it's about.
Okay. Thank you for that. I understand that I'm pretty sure it's not an easy thing to keep the consistency going. It can't be easy, especially because when you're out partying, you're not just there. You're not sleeping, first of all, and you might be intoxicated here and there. So, but you still manage to remember that this is a business. So I really believe that's passion. So can you tell us maybe where this passion started off? Because as you said, you're a quantity surveyor.
Yeah.
How did you now see yourself as going into the entertainment industry? When did that happen?
I'm glad you used that word passion because that's what got me here. Strange enough, when I was in high school and I used to party, my first year at tertiary, I didn't party until I had a Masende party in which I need to find
Okay.
my way around. I don't dance. I don't dance. So this whole thing, firstly, I was saying I really believe.
Hmm.
My dad used to be two times what I am when it comes to promoting
Really?
events. These days, I book big artists. He used to book bigger artists than current. I'm talking about Brenda Fassie,
Wow.
Soul Brothers.
Okay.
He all the back in the days. He used to run that. He would fill stadiums and. So I He didn't want me to be a DJ. I went to Technical Natal then, which is DUT.
Hmm.
As I said, I didn't party the first year, but I could see what was going on. When I started partying, I never stopped. The passion drove me towards doing events. The very first event I did was my 21st. You know, so yeah, that's why 20 years later I'm here. It started slowly, with my boys, Opizori, Cube, Sienza Lenders. We just love to get people together. That's another way we said, no man, this is business. We started business from there. We used to do parties at Albert Falls, Mdumela's Place, Exclusive Lounge, which all of a sudden is back as Madison.
Oh,
We've
yeah.
done it 20 years back. So for the love of being with people, we said we can do this, we can take it further, and it just grew and grew. That's how it's a passion that took me to where we are these days.
Okay, so for someone who doesn't know, someone who's watching now who doesn't know Spike and what you do, what exactly do you do in the entertainment industry? What is it that you do?
Let me have a sip of the bells.
The
Then,
bells. It's okay.
well, I'm a party planner, party organizer, a promoter, events promoter, under a belt of Spike Notion events, which we started off as Joys of Life.
No perpetual.
As the name says, joy. It's the joys of life
Oh
because that's what we
yes.
used to bring to the people, just the joy. The life should be celebrated.
Joyful
Yeah,
Fridays.
joyful Fridays. And, funny enough, I'm here and there's a joyful Friday coming up this
Oh,
coming
is it?
Friday at Cubana. My birthday celebration, also celebrating birthday Yatira. We call it Joyful Friday, celebration of life. So everything has been about joyful. It's about seeing people happy.
And Shame, you've brought
You
us
know,
joy, hey? As
I've,
a
I've,
city, you've
I've
joy.
brought joy. I've brought families together.
Dude,
I've brought kids. No,
dude, you
so
know?
yeah. So it's been a joyful ride. It's just been a joyful ride. I made a lot of friends. I made a lot of business friends. I met strangers who tend to family. So yeah, that's basically my life in the entertainment industry. That I do parties in clubs, festivals. I was part of PMB Jazz Festival and other festivals along the way. And I've put myself in a position where I now manage DJs, under my wing, quite a few, who were started off as friends, and
Hmm.
yeah, that's who I am basically.
Okay, and just for anyone who doesn't know out there, this man has brought so many big artists. And when I talk about big artists, I talk about big artists like Lyra. I remember he brought us Lyra back in the day. I think it was at Royal Showgrounds.
Yeah, so that's the showgrounds.
Yo, I
Oh,
don't even remember
many
how
years
long.
ago.
And she was big back then. Like I think
Yeah,
she was just starting out and just released her first album. But it was like so many other people, and we're very thankful for that because Aki was saying that our city in itself isn't getting great publicity
yeah,
currently. So when you're
sadly
able
so.
to bring such good tourism towards our city, it's always great
Yeah.
input into our into our city. Sorry.
Mm.
So yeah, and earlier on you spoke about how when you were speaking about your consistency, you spoke about how you make sure that you manage the brand. So I've seen how well you've taken care of your brand
Mm.
because as you're saying, you had Joyful Fridays and Joys of Life back then,
Yeah.
and you can still do a Joyful Friday this at this day and age and have
22
it be
years
said.
later.
Imagine. So
Yeah.
that means you can nourish and take care of a brand.
Yeah.
So just for people out there who are doing any other business, not necessarily entertainment, um, clearly you find brand management as important. So for anyone out there, how would you define a brand? What is a brand?
I'm a brand.
Yes.
First,
I
let me
like that
define myself. I'm a
answer.
brand. I wear my brand on my chest. Uh, there's always a joke with if you send the clothing and sell it to the public, but then it's not gold. So
Imagine.
that's one of the mistakes people do. Same with any other brand or any other business that one is pushing, which needs people. Mainly, everything needs people. But then there's this type of brands where people look at you and relate to whatever product you're putting out. It's not like a tech shop where you just sell Alpine bread and so that market itself. But you need to market yourself. People need to believe in you. When you call people to a certain place, they need not to doubt. You know, they need to know Lomuntu has been doing Interanjena and he makes it grow.
Mm.
There's this a brand must not be stagnant, and just expect it to do itself. You have to do a lot to grow it, to protect it. The name is very important. Awuthandi ukuze abantu bekhuluma noma yini ngawe bese expect ukuthi abantu zobabiza bethi abazowenza that is just for the sake ukuthi unamandla okubhukha istadium, ukubhukha ama-artist. No, you have to be that person abantu abathi hayi
It's on
ngahamba
10.
back then back I can refer nabanye.
Mm.
Our events back then were attended by ontanga bethu. These days, their sons, their daughters are attending. Basho nabo, they ma used to, auntie used to.
Mm.
So that means we're doing something right. It's respect that I always preach. You need to respect whatever you do. Put in the effort. Yeah. No matter how small it, put in the effort. Abantu abaseduze nawe, they will do the same.
Mm.
I hate lento yokuthi abantu bahlezi bethi stranger will support you more than umuntu okwaziyo. No, you're wrong leyo. Kusho ukuthi labantu abaziyo abaseduze kwakho akubona abantu aba-right for your brand.
Mm.
Kusho ukuthi nawe awukho right for bona. It's simple as that. If nenza right, you'll meet each other halfway before those strangers come in.
Yeah.
Iqale ekhaya. To charity begins at home. Iqale kwi-cycle.
Because even if they see Ubats, they must tell you, Gucci.
Exactly. So
Mm.
iphutha-ke esike silenze umuntu akafuni ukuthatha i-criticism atsho ukuthi hayi I know better ibrand yami kanti lapho la sekwenzeka khona amaphutha. Respect some opinions abantu wathathe no matter bad or good wathathe
And
ubone
sometimes
ukuthi
it's hard, hey, to take criticism. But I feel like it's, as you're saying, it's very important because sometimes you in your thoughts at that time and you can't think of anything else. So if someone can see it from the outside,
it's always important. Asisho ukuthi yonke isuyi-right ithathe
yeah.
uyoyi-digest ubone okay fine,
Ngiyayithatha noma
you know,
ngiyithathe.
yeah, wena ngeke wasebenzise wonke yabo, but nje for the brand to be protected kumele ubalalele abantu and work around it uyikhulise, you know.
Especially in your line
Yeah,
of business.
especially in this line of business where you deal nabantu, deala nabantu la, so
And udinga abantu.
udinga abantu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you spoke about how now you manage DJs as well and artists. And yeah, I believe that you even mentioned how when you're talking about brand management, you spoke about how it's marketing. You market yourself. As you're wearing a Spike Notion t shirt right now,
Yeah.
it's marketing, you know. So I feel like every single business needs to prioritize marketing and
true.
brand management, like managing your
Correct.
brand, taking care of your brand,
Yeah.
because that is what feeds you. That is what you want to succeed, right?
Correct.
So, I mean, managing your brand, Spike Notion, Joys of Life, and all the other things that you're involved in must be different from managing somebody else's brand. Because now you are in charge of, you basically in charge of their career. Not necessarily in charge, but you have it in your hands in a way, you know?
Yeah.
So are there any significant changes there? Differences, sorry, yeah, or like, yeah, are there any differences between two people? Because you know how people, you both have your differences, different minds, and maybe your artist thinks this is going to work, and you believe that because of your professional experience, it might not work. So how do you deal with all of that?
Yeah, kona akukho lula ne. Akukho lula. Fortunately, le manager is DJs at the moment. It's something that is new in the portfolio, but with vast experience from people that I've worked with and my previous 8 to 5 kind of a job where I needed to manage the office and manage people,
Because
boardroom
you're a
politics,
manager.
all those things. You know, it plays a huge role when you're out there managing OTJ. And fortunately, people under my wing, they know where I come from and what I'm currently doing, where I'm heading. Because inkinga iqala abantu besithi hayi awunakile ungikwenzela izinto kwasho kagcina. We are in positions where we are all grown. I can do so much now for your brand. Do this. It's that kind of a management. Angeke ukuthi if something Fenty ibhukhe direct ngoba nihlanganile niyazana sengifamile ayikho leyo nto. You know, bathatha ama-booking. I mean, I hustle, decide for them. Hlangane, I always make sure the day my events are me. Sikhule sonke. It's about that. We need to grow each other. Because next thing, man, really drop dead. So, wahambe ngasenzelanga lutho. And if I decide to just stop this, nabo baqhubeke, there's a pathway. Ukuthi sasala la asiqhubeke. Kona it's not easy. Abanye banama-commitments abo when mina ngifisa ukuthi hey asambeni sidebheni konke kanje ngifana niyibone hayi no ngibhizi ngokuthi kanjalo kanjalo but I'm glad ukuthi it's happening, it's positive. I'm giving it later this year ukuthi iqale ibonakale kahle ukuthi these people are under isacathuze but ekucathuze it's funny nabantu they have been under my wing sort of. I always make sure ukuthi badlala endaweni, but it has never before
Official.
management you under. So right now that's where we are.
So Manji, do you feel any pressure, or now that it's actually official, do you feel any pressure?
There is a pressure,
or are you confident in
no,
yourself?
I'm confident. The pressure is there, but I'm confident ukuthi it will take a step forward, you know. Already they're playing out of PMB, and the aim is to not just KZN. Joburg. One needs to pull back the connections from back then. Hey, listen, Kumula, I put you on back then, put my DJs on. That's how it is, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. Hey, thank you for that. And you spoke about consistency earlier, and you also spoke about you never stopped partying since the first time you partied. So now I'm trying to understand. You cannot be tired. Like you have to be tired at some point. Like even if it's just Friday night, you went out, even if you were working and you ended up partying because it's work. Partying is work for you. How do you make sure that you still keep going, even like during the fatigue and everything else that is just taxing to the body and even the mind?
You know, I hardly party on Sundays for all these years.
Eat.
I've never been one for uh, Sunday partying until late night. I used to enjoy what O33 Lifestyle used to do, but you'd hardly see me on Sundays at O33 Lifestyle. But the boys knew I had their support anytime I'll push, but you'll hardly see me on
Is
Sundays.
it?
Yeah. Ngoba lelo suku I always told myself I need to rest. But mangiphuma, fanele something special. You know? So look, partying that has been going on all these years, it needs to grow. You know? You can't tell me you've been partying at the same spot for 10 years. Ayikho into lapho ifundayo or abantu ohlangana nabo ukhule nabo. Ukushintsha indawo it helps kule industry. Obviously uzokhathala ukuthi uphumela wena kuyophuza phela.
Oh, so you mean club hopping
Yeah.
in a way?
Club hopping. Let me just call city hopping, you know.
Yes.
Country hopping, hopefully. Wathi omunye umngane wami uma uhlala kakhulu eMaritzburg ugrova. Ungagcina ugqoke ithomi leli teki leli sinalo kakhulu. Uthi uthi impilo i-right, yona impilo perfect. Until one day sekumele uphume usunenkinga uphuma nalo. Yeah. So you need to go out. If amasente evuma, nabangani aba-right, ifamily, uphume eMaritzburg eThekwini. Ufike eThekwini umeet abantu ugrove. Learn things or two. Usuke igoli, ikapa kanjalo kanjalo. So le yokuthi how do I keep up for all these years? Firstly nje I rest kakhulu on Sundays. Maritzburg ngiyaphuma because of social Sundays. Khona beautiful events called social Sundays. I used to go out for pop bottles on Sundays. It ends at 10. Ngeke ungibone anywhere after that because the party was just a lot. There's Paula, which is done by UPH. Beautiful event.
Oh, yes.
I go there. When Saturday started, I used to go there, but now that's okay. Sekukhula abashana eyabo angibadeletele ngoba the more ngiya lapho ngotshela ukuthi hayi groove yabheda because sengimdala I need to find igroove le engikhula nayo yabo le sekuyabo angisize the gents ukuthi bayiphushe but akusayona eyami sekuyabashana ngoba next thing mangilo ngithi ngiqhubeka noma ngiqhubeka nozoya phela.
Imagine.
So consistent is driven by ukuthi I'm looking forward to something new. This is beautiful. You know?
So for you, it's not just a party.
No, it shouldn't be.
Wow.
It should never be.
Your eyes just see something totally different from someone who's just there to party.
Yeah, it should never be. I always say, ngiyagroove mina ngisagroove. Wena ohamba iy'toki. Awuhambanga ama-social Sunday, yabo?
That's true, hey? That's true.
Zilapha ey'dini sekuwaphela nendawo athi umuntu hayi mina ngagroove. Yes, also sisters. Kubalulekile you need to get out, given a chance, phume wherever, Josie, Kappa, even Pesha. One has been to Mauritius just to go groove and like, wow, okay, good. I'm still looking forward to getting more Ibiza, all those places.
And that I feel like that is very, now that I'm listening to you speak about all these places that you've been to just for groove, for someone to say that, but if you know why you were there, I think it's very important, especially if you're in that line of business, to actually explore.
Yes.
Explore, because when you go to Mauritius, you're meeting people who aren't even from South Africa.
Exactly.
When you go to Joburg, you're meeting people who don't even speak Zulu, you know, and who have a different culture. So you're getting to socialize with different people and getting to know them better, getting to know what they like. So now you can even throw a party in Mauritius and still make it work because you know what they like.
Exactly. In general, people always talk about conquer this, conquer that, conquer Ibiza.
Wow.
And they never been there. So only when you get there, you realize how, this thing is beautiful.
Okay.
Ibiza. It's reasonable. But it's a strategy that they use. When talking from outside, because kodwa the very same money obungayspenda lapha uyispende at your usual spot, because you don't want to explore. It's all about exploring. As business people, as events people, uyaphuma uyibone, oh okay, next time ngifuna ngishintshe ngenze kanje. Oh nangu lo DJ, hayi ngiyambhuka usibani bani. And uma uhlangana nabo labantu with these events, it's easier ukukhuluma masofoni. Hayi mina uSpike kangathi konje ubani. Oh ngiyakukhumbula kudala. Okay, the price
Keep
you
up. Yeah, you need to keep
yesterday's
up.
price is not today's price. But if abantu forever here in the face, the price will always be the same.
No, I feel you. I feel you, and thank you for that. So tell me, as a business person and as someone who's been in the industry for a very long time, you must have faced quite a few challenges. But I'm more interested in finding out what is the biggest challenge that you faced in your career, the entertainment career, and how did you manage to overcome this?
Hey, the biggest financial support from the government, idolobha lethu in general, municipality.
A capital city.
Yeah, capital city, we don't get a support. Only 1 in 10. So that's the most challenging thing. We're not getting the support we need, financially mainly, and just the support in general, where we get venues. Other cities will say backed by Maspaga Tizin. We hardly get that. But instead, there's a whole lot of things, red tape, that they want to shut us down. Event must end at a certain time. It must not have this. So it's that kind of a support which we need that we're really not getting. And there's a big stumbling block. We gamble a lot here. We put our monies, my school fees, so that's the main thing. I won't lie, because it's supported from the people.
But how did you overcome it then? Because I feel like you might have overcome it because you're here now and your brand is growing. And yeah, firstly, let's just start there. How did you overcome it?
Because we have a good team together. We have a team. As I said before, we're the joys of life. Ukhona uCube, ukhona uBizori, uMtrapi, Thami Mshengu. Sibaningi senza lento. Others branched out. Saqhubeka. Now, masikhuluma ngeDuzi, which has been going on for 5 years. It's been myself, uNelisa, uHlubi, and uAndile Makeke. May rest in peace. Yes. Those are the founding members of Stax. So we grew up senza leyo nto sonke. Sasala siwu-3, siyawazi ama-strengths ethu ukuthi omunye is able to draw cash from there. Spike will be operational and kanjalo. So it's having the right support, basically, because there will be wet. More wet is about the king and bad. And to make inroads kwamanye events where you meet ama-brands, support ngalo infrastructure. So it's we all have our pulling strengths as a team. Because if we were to knock you
it's
down.
Gonna be a lot.
Yeah.
So you speak about how obviously you needed financial support. What goes into an event? Like just a typical event, nothing too big. Jay, what goes into it?
First thing is a vision. You need to have a vision of, I want to do this. Don't think money.
Wow, really?
Ufuna ukubuya nemali. Uthi ngifake imali. Put a vision, a plan into action. Marketing. Get people to buy in. Get your close people to buy in first. Because more to ufake imali phambili and there's no one to buy in.
Yeah.
It needs to be something that people see that I say, boy, now it's going to pan out before ufake imali. People make a mistake with hanging imali for the event. But ama-logistics awabhekile ukuthi azoba njani. Ubani ozoba naye. Ngoba unemali usuyaqala manje uthi ngibhukho DJ. Awubhekile ukuthi ngaleyo langa kuyobe kunani, njani weather, what's the competition around, bazofika kanjani abantu lapho, bayayithanda yini leyo ndawo. Bese vele usiflata ngama-artist utshela ukuthi hayi kuzosebenza, bese uyabuya ukuthi idolobha lisupportani. You know,
When you didn't put everything in.
yeah, vision, planning,
Mad.
implementation, marketing. Then you throw in imali. Ungaqali ngemali. Ngoba seyithatha-ke thina singo-DJ.
So you basically
Booking.
need a business plan for every event to be
Yeah,
had.
you need a plan and a team for every event. It needs to start here. Putting a born, okay, now it's all white. All right.
So mind, okay, you get the artist, you get the furniture, the venue.
The licensing, you know,
Oh my
there's a lot
gosh.
of things that licensing of an event.
What's the
Otherwise,
license
they
for
will
alcohol or
alcohol license. You need to stage an event. You need to have
a license?
a license. You need to
Hmm.
apply with the authorities that may be. You stage an event of this nature, unless you do it in the clubs.
And how seamless is that? Like how easy is it to get those licenses?
It's not that easy. Eh?
I can
It's not that
imagine.
easy. But if you have a right safety officer who will do all the running around for you,
Hmm.
put all the paperwork together, a safety file is needed. A risk categorization, which is just not easy to get. Right now, I'm still waiting for risk for one of the events that are coming up, but I'm
Hmm.
positive we'll get it. I'm busy with the licensing, liquor license, because that's where the money is. That's where the money is.
Yeah,
So
obviously.
it's not that easy, but as I say, teamwork in all this. Because while you're running around for those things, someone should be doing the marketing plans.
But when do you get to do all this planning? Because weekends, yakal. Like,
Yes, they're gonna lapho kuma weekend ngesikhathi isikhala.
are you serious? So it's
Ngesikhathi
a business
isikhala.
meeting
It's
as
business meetings,
wow.
headaches every day. It's easy, man. You just have a visual meeting, and get a WhatsApp group call. It happens, you know. But meetings are very important.
That's very interesting.
Mm.
Okay, well, you've covered so many things that I was going to ask you, but okay, let me just ask you, when have you grown the most in your life, and what caused you that growth? It might be a deep question, but
It- there's no specific time, yes?
or you keep growing.
Yeah, you just keep growing. You keep growing. That's the way to go. You know, I make friends a lot.
Mm.
I'm easy. I'm an easy guy to make friends. Funny enough, I have friends now. Masihleli sihleke hey sasaxabana. Hey
Mm.
kwakwenzeka ukuthi sake sabanga intombi. Hey kwanjani? About all those things. And then we hear later we just hey we grew from all those things.
So
So
it's growth in itself.
it's growth every time. I like traveling. I like being at the airport. Yeah, I like being at the airport because you know the airport just gives you a lot of ideas. You know, we're seeing people up and down. Abanye is business, abanye is family, whatever. But it's that busy place. People are in and out. We learn. So I grow by that. You know, ngihambe ngihlangane nabantu, ngibone friends in industry growing from DJs, artists. Yeah, so that's that. And the one thing, when, what, how many years? 13 years back when my daughter was born. So there's one thing that
Mm.
totally changed me.
Yes,
Yeah, so the
Zoya.
one and only. Yeah, that changed me totally. It gave me a total different, you know, look into life. And yeah, 13 years later, I've been a dad. And yeah, I'm loving it.
And you're very vocal about being a
I
dad, and
am.
you're doing so well.
Yeah,
How do you keep the
siyaxabana
balance,
babe.
though? Yeah, and she's a teenager
Hey,
now, hey?
siyaxabana.
Yeah. So how do you keep the balance between work and your work and family?
With the
Sorry.
family.
Yeah, yeah.
That point, sometimes work needs to stop.
Mm.
This is to, you know, I make time. No matter I can make time for my daughter. Uh, Sometimes we kube clash sibange naye hayi baba wayesebenza why
Oh,
and
baby.
yena uma umuntu oselithi uba nemali bese ngithi ayikho imali athi kube uyasebenza nje you know so but you have to keep the balance it happens you find time you find time I won't say there's a certain plan according to this but you find time yeah.
Okay, so now we're going closely to our closing of our interview, and I just want to ask you something playful. You can
Mhm.
choose between two questions. I'm going to ask you the first one is what is the most embarrassing moment of your life? Or What is the one thing no one knows about you that you can share with us?
Hey.
But I want the first one first.
Hey, embarrassing.
Mm.
Hey, I'll be lying, man. It's probably
Awukazi
something.
nje wena nje.
Another trend, eh? Another trend, then.
Yeah, I don't remember
Yeah,
one.
that won't happen. That won't happen.
Because you take care of your
Yeah,
brand.
I take care of myself. And no, that's really, there's nothing that I can think of embarrassing.
Okay, then
That
tell us
happened.
something we don't know about you. Something interesting.
What is it that people don't know
Anything.
about me?
Like your favorite food, anything.
Oh, ayisimbulile. Abaningi abazi ukuthi uphutha ngiludla ngilifuna
What?
ukulibona.
Are you
I'm
serious?
serious.
Aye.
Angilithinti.
Did we not want this one time go to have usu there by that place in town that sells
Ngilidla
it?
lodwa
So you didn't
ngisengalidla
have a
uphutha.
boot?
No.
Wow, that is so interesting.
Angiliceli
Why?
uphutha kwami angiliceli.
You said.
Abantu sithi ngimncane ngazi ngidla namasi ngikwadla.
Mm-hmm.
Yabo. Uphuthu ayithi impuphu nje, yabo? Impuphu ngiyithandisisa.
Uzoya yena
Yabo
uyamapha.
ngikhula nezimpi eTopia ne. Wena ongazalwa-ke lapho. Masibuka i-TV. I-rice lalihlezi lilethwa liphushwa ne. No gift of the givers, mom, you see, right? We push our throat. People pay pounds from a name. So what does it say?
Oh my
So
goodness.
yeah.
No, that's very interesting because I would have never thought.
So the moment man feel like pay lu put
And what about Zoya? Does she have put?
yeah, not like alternatives. We selectively choosing vele.
Okay. Okay, so lastly, what upcoming events or work can you look forward to coming from you?
Okay. August Joyful Friday
Mm.
with the Utira.
August? Date?
25.
Mm.
The birthday celebration 23, 24 years later. I think we share almost a birthday in Utira. So we've been doing it for many years. Is one of the people who I look up to. He's a friend. He's a business, mentor kind of. And consistency is out there for everyone to see. So we're pushing that. And on the 2nd of September, we have it to the live Lakeside experience.
And I'm coming.
Yeah, sexy event. Because we have Russell Zuma, Kalo.
Yes.
And then all that leads up to the main one. We do the eve on the 31st of December, Colin Horse. I do most of my event at Colin Horse. Because I'm one cooler box. I hate.
Hey, and we
hate
know, hey.
Ngoba nemali kodwa nifuna ukidla nathi ngidla kwezinye indawo. So sifuna ke imali ifike abantu bayiphathe. Have fun. Clean event abantu abahle. Yeah. Have fun. So
Thank
those
you
are the
so
three
much.
main things happening.
Thank you so much. I'm definitely coming to that event on the 2nd. Lastly, so where can people find you? Or yeah, where can people find you if they want to do work with you, if they need advice from you? Say anything.
Facebook, Njabulo Ngubane, or Spike Ngubane on Facebook. Spike Notion on Instagram. On Twitter, Spike Notion. And on email, spikenotion1@gmail.com. But the other my phone
Everywhere.
Yeah, I'm everywhere. You'll find me Cuban, that's my spot. You'll find me Sprit. You'll find me
medicine.
No, unfortunately I don't. There's one thing I think one of the things we left out is when you spoke about consistency. One thing that has kind of fallen off a club. I don't club like I used to before because section I need to go to a place motivated kind of a club these days, especially KZN clubs. KZN still needs to grow in basically entertainment. We've gone back 5 years back as KZN, so I'm choosy about where I go. But Cubana on Tola, Spritz on Tola. Yeah, those are my places.
Before we close off, I think I forgot to ask you this very important question. How did the name Spike come about? Because now you even have a clothing brand of which I feel like it's so beautiful, and I also want to know how the creation of that came about, and also how people can find it if they want it, because it's very, very nice. Even the t-shirt you're wearing, is that exclusive to you only, or
Kale ngile igama ne. Abantu abangazi they know how I speak highly of abangani. Lehloniphana ngayo. So back then at Technical Natal, DUT nowadays, umngane wami uBhizuri noZexpandwini before uZex abe Zex. Sasinokwenza ama-party, organize transport, landa abantu kushonele nale. And then uZex wathi, hey, udirect uSpike, the movie director. Spike Lee.
Oh yes.
Okay. Ayinganakeki. And then uBhizuri walokhu ephusha athi aqinisile buka ngifana naye Spike. Lahlala because Spike. And as we go usebenza le gama la Spike, there was some la ngathi ngiyaliyeka ngoba sengubaba, no, because abantu bethi I used to spike ama drinks. So ngithi ngiyaliyeka la ngayekeka. And then uSduz, not a very close friend of mine. He's the one behind Spike Notion. He decided we need to he's a graphic designer. Yes. He used to be a DJ. And then he said, I'm tired of this. He grew out of DJing. He's now a graphic designer. He designed most of my artwork. He designs for Abotira or socks. Internet design. I'm CD covers, I'm album covers that you see mainly for artists as a KZN. So he grew out from. So he decided we need to rebrand. And then he just came back at Spike Notion. So Spike, the Notion it says ideas, full of ideas. And boom, here came a name. And then there's this guy, Ukavi Glenn, who's got a clothing brand as well. I used to buy a hoodie, my caps here. One day he decided, why is Gafag Kamala? We cap. I was planning a head party. But I sent them back. My friend, I would send the plan was just to give them away. Ngiyakhumbula sasiya eGoli kuyovulwa i-altitude beach ngoPhethe. How much developed is that? Malini. How? Okay. Bawathenga. Or time goes don't do. So it's that friendship. Yakhula from lapho. I sold 10 caps within 2 days. Then kwanyuka. The t-shirt eyigqokile was the Calvin Klein. It's a collab. Spike Notion, Calvin Klein. I exclusively only made 20 of them. 20 t-shirts, 20 hoodies. So the brand is available via drop me a DM, your pendulum DM. On Insta, the Spike Notion, drop me a DM, you get my number. I'm not here, the number 084-534-1608. So people can get me there. Yeah, that's that.
No, thank you so much for coming through, and it's been very interesting because I also got to know things I didn't know about you. And for those who don't know, this is my dad, guys. That's our relationship. Like, he's not my friend, but we've known each other for so long, and the relationship has always been him being Ubaba, and he calls me daughter all the time, and I appreciate.
I'm proud of you. Something Fenty.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, Bonabandu. Or cooler or bakulisa as such.
Yeah,
doing great things, marketing solutions. We need this marketing solutions developing. A whole lot of people need to be marketed. They take it lightly, so there's a gap in this. Waited daily.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.